Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one Latino podcast in New York. Today we have a very special one. We're shooting straight from Astoria with a
Ooh.
very special guest tonight. And you know, our guests, very special people that turn their passion into careers. And basically, we're with someone that has done that. And I would like to welcome my friend Oliver. Welcome to the podcast, Oliver.
Thank you, Edwin.
Welcome.
Appreciate
Finally,
it.
we got it done.
I know,
We got it
finally.
done. We
It's
we
about
ran into a little bit of
hiatus.
trouble,
Yeah, little.
health trouble, but we got it done. Thank God.
Worked
Welcome
out.
to the podcast. Like I said, the number one podcast according to who? My jefa. That's who.
Hey, that's all we
But-
need. That's all we need.
Exactly. But yeah, like I said, these are the type of podcasts that I'm gonna really enjoy doing, which is we bring on people where they tell us a little bit about their passion and how they've basically make this passion into a career, and basically their life revolves around their passion, which is what I do basically. So I'm really intrigued that we get to know your story today. So tell us a little bit about Oliver, your beginnings, where were you born, where you raised, everything.
Got it. I was raised here in Queens, Corona, Queens. So I was based out there till now.
Yes.
And I got into fitness very late. Believe it or not, I'm actually 33 years old.
Oh, okay.
So it might come as a shocking, but I started my fitness journey when I was 27, very late, like May. I remember vividly. I signed up to that gym. Blink.
Okay, right.
108. You guys know it.
Yes,
Queens.
the most packed gym in Queens. If you know, you know.
Okay, so I'm going into my 7th year training. So I'm going into my 7th year this coming May, and it has been a journey. And I would say, first 5-6 years were fitness, just gym. And now this last year, it's been a year, and some change going into running now, the running space.
Okay, I missed it. How old are you again? Tell me right now.
33. I'm
Okay, 33. Okay,
33.
awesome. 33.
Yeah.
Cool. So what well, let's start from their beginnings. What inspired you to growing up? How was that youth growing up? Was it a lot? I mean, it probably was similar to mine. How was your youth living as a city kid, living in New York?
Got it.
Was what inspired you? Was there anything that inspired you growing up to get into fitness and health, or is this something brand new to you that you're diving into at this point in your life?
Okay, my senior year in Bryan High School, through YouTube, mainly YouTube, I saw a couple of athletes there. I think it was Scott Herman. He's still out there right now, Scott Herman, and then Christian Guzman
Okay.
were doing a lot of content creation during that time.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the guys I aspired to be, but I wasn't really into the gym yet. So I was just like, in a way, just here and there, do push-ups and stuff. And
Right.
I wasn't into the gym yet until later on when
Okay.
I decided to join the gym.
The gym.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what got you into, I'm guessing this more down the line, what got you into running? Because
Running.
your main
Yeah,
passion right now,
yeah.
would you say is running?
Yeah, it's running right now, my main passion. Maybe I skipped over a lot because there's a lot to talk about. So when I was like 22, I got into the faith. I started believing in God.
Okay.
So that was around 22. That was before I even, like I said, I had no gym, nothing.
Okay.
So from like 22 to 27, I was gaining confidence because I wasn't really into any team or an athlete, you would
Okay.
say. So I was no athlete at high school.
Okay, so you were not really into sports?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't really into sports.
Okay.
Soccer, but I didn't even play it. I liked watching it, but not playing.
Right.
So then, so from 20 to 27, I was at a local church in Elmers.
Okay.
A lot of people know it's called the Rock Church. It's
Okay.
right beside Queen Center Mall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, everybody knows Queens Center Mall.
I served there a lot of years in the community there. I think I was there from 22 to 29.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay,
there for a
wow.
long time.
Yeah,
So I was
that's
like in a bubble there, which is pretty cool because that's where I learned a lot about not being afraid of talking to people
Right.
because they were very outreach based.
Right.
So they would
And this is a Christian?
Christian church.
Christian church,
yeah.
okay.
They were outreach based, so they were like on a weekly basis would go and talk to people about God.
Right.
And so I would go, and then I would be scared because I'm like strangers.
Right, yeah.
But you got used to it. So I got used to it. And then so I remember doing all that from that year. And then I left for a bit because I just wanted to do my own thing. Nothing like, sometimes you have your break. You like
Yeah.
So I ended up like just ended up like not leaving, but life
Yeah.
happens. Life happens. So then afterwards, during that time, I was saying I got the confidence to go to the gym.
Okay.
So when I was 27, I started going to the gym, Blink. And from 27 to 29, I saw a radical change like
Mm.
crazy. Like I didn't notice because I was just going to the gym, a routine. And then all of a sudden I started posting stuff and I got like attraction. Like people like, or you a personal trainer and stuff like that. Even Blink wanted to hire me during that
Oh
time.
wow.
Yeah, so you know it
They're
was
they're gym influencers.
yeah, gym influence. Yeah, I was in there. And so when I got that attention, I was like, oh shoot, like this is how attention looks like because I didn't have that before.
Right.
So, and then I think that's when I started like kind of like in a way, okay, getting more confidence
Right.
to do like what we're doing right now,
The content
the
creation.
content creation, which is gym and running at the moment.
Okay, cool. So you think if you don't mind me asking, what got you for let's backtrack a little bit. What got you into like I'm actually myself trying to find a closer connection to God.
Yeah.
So what do you think got you, cuz that obviously that like led you in the path you're in now.
Yes, it did.
What
Yeah.
made you like get closer to God or find or look for that, cuz let's be honest when it's just a little quick 7 minute, but let's be honest, people that are like in that type of mindset, like you have to genuinely search for it. It's not like
Yeah.
something that just pops up like, oh, I want to believe in God today.
Yeah.
You have to genuinely search for it. And usually people have their reasons why. Is there a reason why you feel like you wanted to, reach out to, this community or a certain community that can bring you in and teach you about God and whatnot?
Yeah, what got me in during that time, I was working a lot of overtime. I was an electrician in the city, and I was just working constantly. And what I would do with my spare time would just waste money. I wasn't an alcoholic, nothing like that. I can't say like I had a crazy story,
Right.
but I would like spend my majority of my time, like my money, like just doing things that were just I thought was in a way, oh, I worked hard, so I should be drinking, I should be spending money, I should treat myself.
Right.
And then, but like I said, it was a small period that I did that. I was growing up. Yeah, I was not. My parents really took care of me,
Right.
so I wasn't in the streets or anything like that. I wasn't a bad kid,
Right.
that's for
Right.
sure. So when I was 21, like from 21 going into 22, is where like I was like, oh, let me see what's up, and there was going on craziness.
The 20. Come on, man.
Yeah,
21.
Yeah, 21. So I was 21. So, but I only was there for a bit, only because like I said, I just turned 22, and then I was going through like, what is this? Is this worth it? It's like it seems like everybody's doing it,
Right.
and then someone spoke to me about God in the streets.
Okay.
So that's why it kind of, it was a flip later on. I was doing the same thing with that woman. An elder woman came up to me, and she's like, "Oh, are you facing any trouble?" And
Right.
I was confused. Like, well, what am I supposed to do with life? And then that was kind of like a hope she gave me. And then I ended up, going there, and then end up what they call saved, which I didn't know none of these terminologies.
Right.
So I don't know about saved, the Trinity, God, Jesus, or how they're all related.
Right.
So when I went there, I just did a prayer, and all of a sudden I felt like everything all these confusions were like gone, and now I'm starting a new path. So, and I don't know what was it, but they called the Holy Spirit, but during that time I didn't know what was it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us can relate to
Yeah.
that. Like, you may not have nothing immediately like wrong with you, but there's something that,
Yeah.
or maybe it's a void.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are watching, I'm pretty sure feel that's like, I feel like I'm missing something. And sometimes for many people, they look for that in drinking, they look for that
Yeah.
in partying, they look for that in this and buying stuff and
Yeah.
fulfilling,
Yeah.
that void with something else other than God.
Yeah.
And you've came to be a proof that that's what you need.
Yes.
That's that that void. That
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is there
yeah.
something wrong? Are you feeling like this? I feel like we all get to a point in life where
Yeah.
you stop and you realize and you're like, why am I sad if I'm alive, I'm healthy, my family's
Yes.
healthy?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why do I feel this sadness? Why do I feel this? Sometimes it's depression. Why do I feel
Yeah.
this anxiety? All of this, and oftentimes it's just because we like to replace that void with things that are materialistic, things
Yeah.
that drive you even in a
Or buying
deeper
stuff. Yeah,
hole.
exactly.
Yeah.
Buying stuff. Yeah.
Or
So,
like, a lot of people, unfortunately, they find that void in drinking or drugs or whatever it may be, and
mm.
unfortunately they don't, some people don't have like the luck that you had and somebody spoke to you about
Yeah.
it,
Somebody
you
spoke
know.
randomly. Yeah.
Yeah, and me, I
Yeah.
come from a
Yeah.
Catholic
Yeah.
upbringing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've realized that, like, I've come, like, all the like the bad thoughts and all the like the bad like, it always relates to something, from the, like, I've watched a lot of like uh Christian services through YouTube,
Yes. Yeah.
and
During the COVID, it was big.
yeah, they
It was
target,
good.
like, it feels like
Yeah.
they're speaking to you
Yes.
on your problem.
They
So
are.
I see what you mean when you're like, it was a moment where, like, I thought I was lost, but that person seemed like she knew,
She
or
knew.
she knew
She
me, or
had
she knew my
something.
problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I really totally get what you mean. And unfortunately, a lot of people, we think because it's not cool, because it's not this or whatever, because our friends are not doing it, oh, and it's not cool to
Yeah.
reach out and get closer to God. But in reality, is that we all need it. We all need
Right.
to get
Right.
closer to
Right.
God.
Right.
But that's amazing that brought you to this. So again, connect me. How did the going to Rock Church, right?
Yeah. Raw church. Yeah.
Connected you to like the whole fitness and like starting, or basically drove you in the path you're in now with fitness.
Yes. So during that time, since I got radically changed, I was like, what they call,
Physically, and
and
mentally.
mentally and spiritually. Like it was like all these things happening during those my 20s. And I went out during that same year. I went out to an internship program.
Okay.
It's a Christian college. I went there for 1 year
Oh wow.
in Providence, Rhode Island. It was New Life called Awakening
Okay.
Leaders. So I went out there for a year. Like they taught you everything about the Bible, about outreaching for the youth,
Okay.
like how to create events, how to make how can you translate what's going on in the church, but don't make it look like
Like, oh,
not,
you gotta go read your
yeah,
Bible.
yeah,
Or,
yeah, yeah.
like,
You
make it
may,
intriguing for the youth, because unfortunately
yeah,
the youth, we are a little bit, especially with like the fast paced content, like
yeah,
we lose connection with something real quick.
yeah. We lose yeah, we can't pay attention for so long. So that year I spent there was 2016 to 2017. That's the year I spent out there, in the outreach program, learning about Jesus, about outreaches, especially for the youth.
Right.
So there I saw so much like vision, what they call vision, like your potential, or like when you see a place that is already doing like what they call stuff for the community,
Right.
you're like, oh, it is possible. And my church was doing it to the Rock Church, and I went there because I was like, I want to know more.
Right.
So it did. So then when I came back, that the year around after the transformation, 2019, I did a boot camp
Okay.
in Flushing.
Okay.
So I already had the confidence to to create something that's outside the church
Right.
related to fitness.
Okay.
So I did like a 2-week event in Flushing Meadow Park. A lot of people showed up, and I saw the power of social media during that time.
Right. Right.
So I was like, wow, social media brings people together. So yeah, that's how.
I
Right
feel
there.
like those two things go like really hand in hand. Like the I'm sorry to
No,
bring it
go
back
ahead.
to the
Yeah.
religion, but I feel like those two things go really close hand in hand. Like,
Yeah.
because the same way we do an oil change to our cars, the same way we change the tires and
Yeah, it's
do
important.
this and that, wash your car or
Yeah,
whatever.
check engine.
It's like, we treat everything, or we like, maintenance everything else around us but our bodies.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing God gave you to take care of, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
your body. And unfortunately, like, a lot of us are not taught that,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah, yeah.
that's a topic we wanted to
Touch upon.
touch upon,
Yes.
like how unfortunately in our community, the Hispanic community, the Latino community, there's definitely a lot of people that are like into fitness, and they're like, they want to pursue this, like, it's more of a mentality, I would say,
Yeah.
than like physical. I feel like
Yeah.
physical is the byproduct of changing your mind first,
Yes.
but it's hard for us, I feel like, because we're not raised with that mentality. We're not raised, or we're not taught
Yeah.
majority of the time. Like, take care of your health,
Yeah, yeah.
control. Like, it's okay to eat certain things, just at a controlled portion and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And we don't come from that background,
No, we don't.
especially with the food that's like amazing. Like, the Hispanic food
You got
is
everything here. In
amazing.
Queens,
Yeah, and
everything.
especially where we live,
Seven
where it's
line,
like
everything.
a melting pot of
Yeah,
cultures,
yeah,
Ecuadorian, Mexican, Dominican, Colombian, everything is here. But unfortunately, that is not taught to us,
yeah.
so
No.
we don't know how to pursue it. We don't know how to tackle the fitness, or simply not even, like, maybe not even going to stuff your body 5 days, 6 days in the gym,
Yeah, yeah.
but just like changing your mindset a little bit of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
portion control, and like
Yeah,
cut down a little bit on sugar,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
this and third. How is that coming up? Was there anybody like that you would look up to, or like you feel like you're one of the first people in your like community, maybe in your family, that's really
Yes.
into fitness?
I would say, yeah, I'm one of the first ones in my family to kind of stray away from their food. And
Right.
it's hard. And I know a lot of people have this issue where it might look like a disrespect to
Yeah.
tell your mom, like, hey, I don't want the caldo de pollo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm gonna eat
yeah,
my
yeah. I'm gonna eat my rice with chicken,
my
with
rice and
broccoli.
my meal prep.
My meal prep.
Yeah, and
Yes.
unfortunately, sometimes they don't understand. Like, and then, like you
Yeah.
said, it's you said it perfectly. It's not disrespectful. It's just
Yeah.
we have a different vision, and it's okay to eat that,
Yeah.
but once in a while, not
Yes.
like on a constant.
constant basis. Yeah, and then during that time, I was looking up YouTube videos, and the main one I would say is a very popular YouTuber, still is, Christian Guzman, Alpha Lee. He has a big gym called Alpha Land in Texas.
Okay,
He had
cool.
a lot of like A to C steps to how to track your calories, by a scale. And then I started bringing a scale, and during that time I was with my parents, and it was funny because I would weigh out my stuff, and
They're
they
like,
were
"What the
like,
hell?
"What's going on
What is
here?
this
Like,
kid doing?"
like just eat." I was like, "No." It's like you'll see why.
Right.
And then
And it sucks, right? Because you don't. It's not like, well, the gym is a beautiful thing, because, and fitness in general, because it's
Yeah.
like it teaches you patience. Because
Yeah.
even though you're doing all of this, and in the
Yeah.
moment, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard.
Yes.
It's really hard. In the moment, it's really hard. There is a payout later
Yeah.
down the line.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it teaches you that
Yeah.
patience
It
of
is.
like,
It is.
wait for it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
right now, myself, thank God I'm gonna complete my first 12 months of being fully into
Congrats,
like
bro.
the gym.
Congrats,
And
yeah.
thank you. And the same thing, like I look back and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I started. It's been a year already.
Yeah, you showed me the photos.
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't have never known.
Yeah,
if
and
it wasn't for the
it's
photos.
crazy
Yeah.
because like this is the beautiful thing about the gym
Yeah.
and fitness in general. That's like you have to put in the work and just let it simmer. Keep doing what you're doing
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time, and that's part of it. Like the weighing your food out,
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
you grab that's like prepackaged. You got to turn it around. How many
Yeah,
calories?
that's how it was.
And
Basically.
they lie to you too. They lie to you like.
Oh, really? That's something new. I didn't know, but during that time,
Well, they don't lie to you, but they're
Yeah.
deceiving with their packaging. Like,
I'll
oh,
be
it's only 80
yeah.
calories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do the math. Is
yeah, per
opposite.
serving.
Yeah, per serving. Yeah, yeah. You got to look at it very closely.
very
How many
close.
servings they have. Yeah. So then I would, like you said, I would look behind the box. Now it was just a habit.
Right.
So I would go to the store and say, "Oh, buy this, buy that," and then in those 2 years, I saw like a drastic change. So that kept me motivated to continue tracking.
Right.
So then little by little, I just ended up practically here and there. I would eat my parents' food or
Right.
go out here, but most of the time I just stayed on track
Right.
because that's what got me the look.
Right.
Versus if I were to eat consistently my parents' foods during that time.
Right. And let's
Yeah,
be
yeah.
real. You were doing it for now. Let's get a little bit into the your
Yeah.
fitness life. That you were doing that. That was pre, because you have been in competition before.
Yeah, yeah.
For bodybuilding. Was that pre competition, or that was like leading up towards the competition?
That's pre.
So this is before you even signed up to any.
This is way before. But the thought was always there to compete.
Right.
It was, in which I did accomplish in the summer of 2023. And all that habits led to me being able to perform well.
Right.
And be strict enough on my body, because down requires at least a 3-month phase where you literally are coached and you can't really stray away from the meal plan.
Yeah.
Because then it'll show day.
Yeah.
So
of
that
course.
that's like on another level of commitment.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can only go have a cheat meal if your coach decides to give you a cheat meal.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
okay,
had a
okay.
coach during that time. But prior to that, I had coached myself. I had also gotten very lean, like a beach body look.
Right.
That's different from a competitor look. Competitor look is you more leaner
Yeah.
than you should be.
Crazy lean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had like 2018, 19, I had like prepped myself and just mock preps, you would call it.
Right.
And then I
What's
would
the leanest you've been? What's the body percentage?
it's probably show ready. It was at least I would say 8%. I can't
8%.
I
That's
gotta be. I gotta
crazy.
be. It had to be. I really like skin tight.
And that's how you know, like,
Yeah.
most people are walking around with like
Yeah.
great like 25. They don't realize it,
They don't
because
realize
it's
it, yeah.
spread out, but
Yeah.
but now for someone that's been done it not for competition and for competition.
Yes.
What would you say to someone that's like, maybe or maybe if you were able to speak to, you seen the pictures of myself
Yeah.
12 months ago.
Got it.
If you were to speak to me 12 months ago and I wanted to get into like being in a caloric deficit and controlling your what you consume and just controlling calories in general, how would you say, like, coming from a background we come from, like, the Hispanic and the crazy good food and all of that, how are you able to, maybe not to necessarily to be in competition, but just to take care of your body? How would you recommend someone to start like that calorie cutting or replacing certain foods?
So recently I had this talk with a friend because I get a lot of those comments about, hey, how would I approach this?
Right. And to someone like a newbie, let's say someone, a newbie that has never maybe even stepped foot in the gym, never really tried, obviously probably never really tried calories, and soda is their thing. Like for me, soda was my addiction. Sprite, Dr. Pepper is my thing. I love Dr. Pepper with a big cup of ice.
Now it's what, zero?
Now zero everything. Zero everything. Thank God. We've been able to change. But someone like that, that's maybe never stepped a foot in the gym, that, we'll speak on the gym a little bit later.
Yes.
But for right now, what you were saying, it's amazing what you're saying. How would you tell someone to go about it when they're just starting out, but they want to make a change to their body?
Yeah. First things first, like, it is true. There's some truth about abs are made in the kitchen.
Okay.
I know that we're not aiming for that. We're just trying to look a little bit better than we are. Especially,
and just be healthier.
It'd be healthier. I would reduce the amount of times I eat out, because most of us, believe it or not, are eating out a lot.
Yes.
During the weekdays and even on the weekends.
And it's so easy now too. Easy. You don't even have to be out to eat out. You could just DoorDash, Uber Eats. And it's technically the same thing.
And coming up, there was no Uber Eats and DoorDash weren't there yet. So now it's even more frequent. You could get these things without going out.
So cutting out the
eating out.
Eating out, because maybe you can agree on this point. Like, you will never know exactly what you're eating unless you cook it yourself.
Yes.
Because, like, the way what I eat usually in the mornings.
Yeah.
Well, that was weird. Is that the ghost?
No, that's the.
By the way, shout out to C Coffee.
Yeah.
So I totally missed it.
Yeah.
Shout out to C Coffee
True.
for letting us use their coffee shop, their space for this. It's as you can see it, a different change of background.
Denmark's Boulevard.
Yes,
it's 2 locations.
So we'll link their information down below, their Instagram, everything, so you guys come check out. They have amazing coffee, and once again, thank you to the owners.
Thanks, Coffee, Pedro and Edwin. Thank you.
Yes, thank you to Tocayo Edwin for letting us use the space. It looks amazing. They did a great job with this background.
Yeah, it looks nice.
That we've used as a studio.
Yeah.
But let's go back to we were saying the abs remain in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I would reduce the amount of times I eat out. So I would ask somebody generally, how many times do you eat out during the weekday? And they would tell me just for lunch. And I would tell them that just for lunch adds up to 5 meals out of your plan. Meaning, because to actually see results, you want to stay consistent with a meal plan. Because if you are, it's all numbers in the end of the day.
Right, yeah.
Like, even, because I wouldn't recommend macro tracking yet, because that gets you a little bit of, like, in a way, and for my numbers.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, macro tracking is like diving in more into what the food has, not just calories, but what it has actually it's made consists of.
The macros and the micros of it. So I would tell them first, like, try to bring, because the hardest one for me, from what I hear, is lunch. because it's so easy to go outside and get a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, especially like if you're in the
Chipotle.
workplace and
Yeah.
like, oh, McDonald's down the corner.
Yeah, because the simplest way I put it, most of us are home. We do have time in the morning to cook our meal, and also not cook our meal, but have our breakfast, and then also make dinner for ourselves.
Right.
So those two you could just literally secure and say, hey, I'm taking care of 2 meals. The hardest one to take care is that lunch one,
Right.
because you either don't bring it to work or you buy it, which I should
And it
avoid.
affects you, affects your pocket as well. Like
Yeah,
if
it
you
affects your
cook,
pocket.
if you cook something at home, I mean, you're saving a little bit of a couple bucks.
Yeah, so
how much is lunches nowadays? $15, $20,
25, up to 25. I see.
Yeah, now doing that over, this episode is not a financial episode, but I mean, it kind of like it'll screw you there too.
To eat what you bought.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's not that hard, right? You don't have to overcomplicate. Like a lot of people, that's what I thought too. Like when I've actually done the meal prep.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like yourself. Like I started really. I went more of like went hard, like really hard dieting.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the opposite, where people like little by little they start cutting off like this, and I
you went cold turkey.
I went cold turkey at the beginning. I'm
the opposite. I'm taking my time. Like,
now I take my time. Now I'm a little bit more lenient, which unfortunately I get to see the difference in the scale because like I see that when I was more like I was dropping weight like little by little, a pound and a half per week, almost 2 pounds sometimes, and then now it's like maybe half a pound, but you don't have to overcomplicate it. I mean, I've seen that for breakfast. I mean, then again, it also depends if you're a foodie. I'm a foodie. I love the way going to places that I know have a certain taste or whatever. Like my palate, I love to like taste new foods and
got it.
Stuff. A lot of people are not like that. They just like whatever fills them. That's good enough. So I feel like you can balance that out and like just not necessarily complicated, but maybe like the way I do is like I don't eat breakfast, but during lunch for me it's simple: 3 eggs, a hash brown, maybe some sausage. That's it. Like I don't overcomplicate it. You can package that. Heat it up.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think there's a lot of like ways to like hack around that, so you don't have to like a lot of people think it's like crazy, like you have to know these recipes or this.
Oh no. I would just stick to simple meals like
even chicken and rice.
Chicken with some sort of carbs, or rice or potato and veggies. So you could flip it around. Just change the protein source, either beef or chicken with some sort of carbs, which is potato or rice with some sort of veggies. Right. That's like that could be a dinner and a lunch.
Yeah.
So, and going back to the meal prep, I'm not saying meal prep like your whole meals. The most important one I would say is, from what I've seen, is the lunch one. From what I see is the lunch one.
Right.
Because if you could eliminate that, then it puts you on track to pretty much at the end of the week you don't have 5 meals out of your meal plan. But I'll keep saying meal plan. What I'm trying to say is that you just try to cook majority of your food.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be like a meal plan every week, but try to eat more of your food versus outside food.
Right. Yeah. And we don't know how the food is made, and they don't really care about calories or whatever. They just want it to taste good. You'd be surprised too. That's one thing I've noticed on focusing more on what I eat and what I consume, is that we are like so like blinded by what some meals have.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we don't. Well, most of the time, like if you're not really trying to lose weight or trying to do this, you're not really looking at the package, or you're not looking at how many calories, what, like how processed the food is, or none of this. And that affects your apart from like your weight and like it messes with your mood, it messes with your mind, and that's one thing that I've seen very positive, that when I switched to like eating solely like, let's say, at home,
bloating,
a lot of bloating, I suffer a lot from like inflammation, like like I can drop weight but I'll still be like a little inflamed or whatever. And I've noticed that it's been reduced a lot ever since you start cooking with just replacing little things like avocado oil. Now I cook with avocado oil and stuff like that. So it's not that hard as people make it seem, and especially now TikTok teaches you everything. I started my fitness journey with TikTok. Thank God TikTok is a thing, and and thank God it stayed because
It came back recently for
Yeah.
me because I deleted it.
yes, yeah. Yo,
Right.
comment down below if you deleted TikTok and you just
Yeah.
got it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I was one of the reason why I asked that question too is because I was one of those people that was like, okay, I want to get into this fitness thing, but there's just so many steps. So like, you gotta do the
Yeah.
meal prep, you gotta buy the protein and the this and
Yeah.
the that. And in reality, like you said, I mean, I went a little bit like harsh on myself in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you can do it step by step, like you say, like you can ease into it by like
Ease into.
cutting certain things. Like if you freaking drink soda, try replacing it
Yeah.
with diet
Diet
soda, the
Coke, yeah.
diet version or whatever.
Diet
It's
version,
not
yeah.
gonna be the greatest, but
You gotta
if
get
you
used
want to
to.
make a change, you gotta
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah, you have to. You have
Yeah.
to.
Let's talk about Seek.
See coffee. Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Yes.
tell the viewers what that is, how that started, and what it is now.
Got it. See coffee. I met them actually. They were they had a booth for the New York City Marathon
Okay, cool.
2024 that just passed November, which I will be doing 2025. Actually
Oh,
running it. It's like the top marathon that people aspire to run. It's
yeah.
New York. It's one of the 5 majors in
You're
the
gonna be
world.
elbow to elbow with
Yeah.
Casey Neistat.
Oh, he PR'd actually this past year.
Yeah, right.
PR'd,
I
yeah.
saw that. He was
was-
like, his video was crazy on
He
how
chased that so many years, like documentation.
and it's
That's-
only for like a self reward, right?
Yes,
It's like, I mean,
self-reward.
obviously for you
Yeah.
get it,
Yeah.
you get
time.
you get a timestamp, but it's more of the way he makes his video. Well, the way he like treats it, it's a self reward. It has nothing to do with
No.
proving anything to
He
anyone.
he doesn't get any money from it. Apart from the videos, of course, maybe he does monetize it, but for himself at the timing that he's been trying to go sub 3, I believe. I think it was sub 3.
Yeah.
I believe, sub 3, yeah. He went 2:59, I think.
Which
I'm
is
pretty sure.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's very
Crazy.
hard. Like me in the running space, yeah, it's hard. So I had met C Coffee during the marathon. They had their booth, and during that time, I was with my run club at that moment, which was Possible Run Club. So we had a cheering station where they had.
Okay.
So we're and they were part of the cheering station as well. And then I met Edwin there and Pedro too as well.
Okay.
And then I was like, hey, you guys are a coffee shop. I would like to one day collaborate with you. So and it didn't happen under the other run club.
Okay.
So and then fast forward, I ended up leaving Paso Run Club
Okay.
recently, and that blew up in the summer.
Right.
That blew up from, I would say, from the beginning of May till I left around November.
You wanna touch base on that, on how what was it joining your first run club?
Yeah, it was amazing. I had an amazing summer with Paso. I loved everything I did. Like
Okay, and what is it
days.
for the people that don't know or are not into running? Maybe they're in fitness, but they're not like myself. I'm not into running, but I want to get into running.
Yes, Paso
What-
Run Club is we started it with my friends. It was 2 of my friends. I had a friend named Angelo with me, and then Evelyn as well. So,
Okay. Oh, actually, this might be
Yeah.
the same Evelyn I know.
I might be Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so I had the story goes that after my 2023 competition, I really didn't want to compete again. I was like, this summer I want it to be different. So we were just throwing out ideas because I had already a brand called Faith Fit,
Okay.
and then during that time, my friend Angelo was he was very like, almost you could say, very a dreamer.
Okay.
He would want to like, oh, let's do this, do that, and I'll be like, I wasn't feeling it yet.
Right.
But he would have these, these thoughts, these dreams,
Get ideas.
about community, and then he was running at that moment, and I was
Okay.
kind of running as well, but not really. And then later on, I got inspired by this brand called BPN, which is Nick Bear's brand. They run a lot. They're big in the running space
Okay.
in Texas. So then, around October of 2023, I was like, I'm gonna contact Evelyn because Evelyn has been throwing out content, a lot of fitness content. So I was like, I need her, like, because I wanted a different dynamic. I had seen Raw Dog. I'm throwing out a lot of run clubs names because people will know. People will know
Yeah,
who
so
Raw Dog
people-
is. Okay, so I'd seen their dynamic. It was 4 guys.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted it to be a girl involved.
Right.
Like, get their perspective, their ideas,
Right.
their approach to it, and get that feminine side of it.
Yeah, of course.
So I had reached out to her in October, and I was like, oh shoot, like I threw it out there. I threw
Right.
it out there. I called her. I said, hey, you want to do this for the Latino community. There's nothing catering too much to it that I haven't seen
Right.
because I didn't know too much about the
So
running
what you guys
space.
do? Like invite people out to come run and or like?
Oh, not yet though. This is October. I just threw out the idea.
Okay.
So during that time, I think she was about it, but I think she was very busy.
Right.
She was very busy, but I didn't lose hope. I didn't lose hope. So then after New Year's and stuff, this is where again I start going back to church because I've been off church.
Right.
So the beginning of January 2024, I started going back, and because of friends were asking me questions because they knew I had gone to church, but then I stopped going, whatever. But they had questions about God.
Right.
So then I ended up going, and then I had invited my friend Angelo. Also, during that time, Evelyn, she was going there too, and so fast forward, I had kind of like not I hadn't given up on her. I was
Right.
like, eventually she'll
She'll come around.
come around because I didn't want to start the run club, just me and my friend Angelo. My vision was she needed to be part of the
Right.
puzzle. Like if it wasn't it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't have happened most likely, from what I think. And then so I didn't give up. And then March, I think it was March or April. There's this run club called Anaka Run Club. They were a run club, but they were mainly a brand.
Okay.
So they had a tour. They were going to different cities, doing pop-up run events.
Okay.
So I had told Evelyn, "Hey, come over here," in hopes that she would see what a run club is. And that was our first run club in general.
Okay.
For me, Angelo, and Evelyn, that was our first run club ever together. Like our first club in general.
Right.
Seeing it was a run club, and so we went there. And then after the whole event was over, we were in the car heading to BQ. We were heading back to BQ, and she's like, "Oh, remember that run
For
club?"
those don't know, BQ. Sorry to interrupt. For those that don't know, BQ, the best gym in Queens.
Yeah, vibes.
We're not. Vibes. Yes,
Vibes.
Not,
Remember?
we're not sponsored yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get a sponsorship for it. But that's
Yeah.
our gym. So shout out to BQE. Shout out to the whole staff. They're really cool.
Yeah,
If they get to see this, best gym in Queens.
Yeah.
Living proof of that.
True. It really is true. It really is true. It's massive.
But yeah, you were heading to
So I was heading to BQE, and like since I already threw out the project like months ago, I didn't want to enforce it. I just wanted to like let it happen naturally. So and when we were on our way to BQE, as part of the story, she's like, "Oh, remember that run club you mentioned? Let's do it." I was like, "Say less." I was like, there once she said that, I started. Okay, I'm gonna launch it that week.
right.
Like, I'm not gonna hesitate.
You were very passionate about it.
Yeah, I was already passionate, but that was the piece that I needed.
Right.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. I'm not. She's not a piece. I mean, Evelyn.
Right. But
Yeah,
ideally, a piece of the puzzle that
piece of
made
the puzzle.
everything.
What I
Yeah.
kind of envisioned of it. That okay. So then, when she said that same month, I think that Monday or it was Saturday. That Monday, I announced it. Hey, run club this Sunday in Astoria, and so from there, from the beginning of May till like all summer was based around themes, like faith theme, Carol G theme, soccer theme. Yeah, and still to this day, it still goes on with different themes. But,
Right. And for those that don't know, like even myself, what's like the run club? What are they? I mean, obviously they they go out for runs, but how does that work? Like, who do they invite or like?
Yeah, for the run club. So what we did was we did the first run club, which was the beginning of May. We had thrown a flyer out there, really pretty much just a general flyer, and in hopes of people showing up.
Right.
So about 15 people showed up, and it was cool. Like it was still good. I was like, it's still a lot of people for us.
Right. Yeah.
And I had filmed the video that time, like what I'm doing right now, like a lot of different video, like cuts, like I just edited quickly. I did a voiceover on it and posted it that same week and went viral. It's like almost like 500,000 views.
Oh man.
And so that one basically catapulted Paso to the next events. So and then we had like maybe like two viral videos from my side and one viral video from Evelyn.
Right.
Those three would literally launch the summer. Like from there,
and then people started to know you more.
Yeah.
The outreach was bigger.
Like we became like pretty much like right there where we needed to actually move to Central Park. We wanted to base it out here in Queens,
Right.
but a lot of people were having trouble just getting to Astoria for I don't know for what
Yeah.
reason. So we had to like go to Central Park. So we went out there. We saw like that was our third event when we saw again the power of social media. We saw 50 people show up altogether.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, what is this? And that was a Saturday. And then later on, we decided to like move it to Thursdays. And the reason why I moved to Thursdays is because when I was like in that leadership school for awakening leaders, I was telling you about
Yeah.
with outreach,
Yeah.
they had done creative nights on Thursdays.
Okay.
And I remember I was like, that was such a great idea during that time because like Thursdays is good because ain't nobody really going out. So they could get people to go to church.
Right.
So and get creative and be part of all these programs they have
Right,
that
right.
night. So I was like, let's switch it to Thursday because Saturday we're gonna collide with a lot of other events because it was not the summer yet.
Yeah.
So I was thinking ahead, like, hey, we're gonna collide with salsa classes, concerts on a Saturday,
Yeah.
or people just going away on the weekends.
So you were just planning on how to get the crowd bigger and for people to be motivated to choose to
a
run
lot
instead
of
of going to like a party or something.
Yeah, a lot of inspo comes from like I said, from my time being in church, because the themes as well. I remember, like you said, you mentioned about YouTube videos, Christian YouTube videos.
Right.
I saw the series of The Life of Pablo, which was based on Kanye West album a couple years ago. So a pastor had used like basically his album cover,
Right.
and kind of said, hey, we're gonna have a series in the church, like a 4-part series.
Okay.
So I was like, there was a time where like, all right, let's just make a flyer related to like Ra Alejandro, and we posted up kind of
Right.
like that's how the theme was gonna be based on. Maybe the music was gonna be Ra Alejandro or the wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it came about because of that. What I saw during my time. Yeah. So then the Thursday move was a beautiful move because the sunset was setting. It wasn't too hot.
Right.
And for whatever reason, those 2 Thursdays, the first 2 Thursdays, just there was an electric. I don't know what it was, but the energy was there. It was so electric. People were just like so euphoric about like running, happy.
Right.
So when I saw that, I was like, that's it. We got it. I don't know what it is. We got.
You got something.
You got something. And then from there, it was a wave the whole summer. And then we hit November, and then this is where I could talk about a little bit about like the reason why I left Paso Run Club at its height, because I had left just the day before a big event, which was the Flea Feed event in Union Square. And so I'm not gonna say a lot, but what I could say is that like the vision that I had for the club, in a way was I wanted it kind of this way, and then I had a little bit of like a collisions of visions,
right?
Almost like kind of that creates division in a way.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, for me, I felt that personally, you might call it like, it might be ego, who knows? I wanted it this way.
Right.
Like this way, like I wanted it to be going towards this direction. And since I didn't see it going to that direction or in favor of mine, then I was like, I'd rather just leave than kind of like bump heads.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just for my well-being, and then also for their well-being and stuff like that.
Right.
So then I just, I could have stayed. Honestly, I could have stayed. I could have like, say, hey, let me suck it up. Let me, maybe it's not going where I want it to go, but yeah, I'm working on it because I just started going to therapy recently since during that incident. Okay. I just started going because of that very reason, because you can't always have it your way.
Right.
So yeah, so right now, since November till now, been trying to like my next like project where I'm working with a lot of people. I would want it to be more healthy for myself. Okay. Yeah, for myself. So and so far therapy has been, it's there. Like it's, you don't see the changes. Sometimes you like, we all mess up regardless. Like
Yeah, of
I
course.
still mess up. I still like kind of do certain things that it's like, oh shoot, like come on, like I should know better.
And what do you think? Was that like the main reason you feel like you needed therapy? Just because of like maybe you wanted to know how to control maybe conflict better,
Yes.
or what was like the main reason? Because a lot of people, I myself have done. Well, I can't say I've done a lot of therapy, but I've done one session of therapy, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was one of those. I grew up in more of like a rougher uh like parenting or
Yeah.
whatever, and they
Yeah.
don't see that as like,
Yeah.
you need therapy. Like, what do you need therapy
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
work?
Yeah. Go work. Yeah. True.
Go work. What do you need
Go
therapy?
work.
And unfortunately, like
True.
I feel
True.
like that's I feel like it's helpful, definitely
Yeah. Yeah.
helpful. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's, there's certain times where we're like so cluttered with things, like whether it's like, you got you wanted this project to go a certain way, but it didn't go because of A, B, and C, or
Yeah.
like, and then just life in general. People deal with life in general, with
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
jobs and their families and this and the third. So what like in what way you think that therapy has been helping you, other than like, the trying to control that, like, maybe be a perfectionist, or what else you think it helped you in?
Yeah, right now is almost allowing other people to like be okay and confident that sometimes you have to let go. Maybe you have to let go of like, of course this is what you created, but at the same time, don't be afraid of letting someone else take control of it,
Okay.
because you should, because uh, we people are allowed to, to think, to have different ideas,
Right.
and it's nothing. It shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't be like, oh, it's not what I wanted.
Right.
And the delivery. So basically, what I'm learning right now is how to deliver my message, like as a team, because most people see it all jolly, but what happens really behind the scenes is the most important thing. Like, are we a team? And was I a good leader?
Right.
And I thought I was, but I don't think I was a great leader.
Yeah, I feel like what
Yeah.
happens very often is that
Yeah.
we don't see. I feel like what I've been discovered actually this past year,
Yeah.
is a big thing, which is perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on what perspective you look at things,
Yeah.
is how, you may, like you said, I've done it too, where I feel like I'm doing things right, but then someone
Yeah.
else tells me what I've been doing, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe maybe
Yes.
I'm not doing the best I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
doing, or
Yeah.
whatever. So I
Yeah.
feel that like comes into play when you receive someone else's perspective,
Yeah.
and then you realize like, okay, sometimes I gotta chill,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or something like that. But that's cool. And then so how's that been going? Like, you think you've been improving, going to therapy, or like you
Um.
said, you wanted to be healthier, and I'm guessing it's more of like not only physically healthier, but mentally you want to be more mentally
Yeah, mentally prepare for the future, for future relationship, like for myself too. Apart from business, for if I have a significant other, how to combat, conflict.
Oh yeah, because there's gonna
Conflict.
be
There's
that.
gonna be
Trust me.
conflict. Yeah, yeah. So I would say here and there, I'm still like a couple of sessions still in trying to dissect like my behavior, like why I do certain things, why do I nitpick on, like why do I assume people are acting this way. Like I kind of
Overthink.
overthink, not overthink, but I assume a lot.
Okay.
I assume that's 100%. I assume a lot for whatever reason. If say somebody walks in and doesn't say hi to me, I assume that they don't like me, but
Right.
maybe they wasn't seeing me.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so that's one of the things I'm trying to like not assume too much, not assume
Like
too
create
much.
false scenarios in your head.
Yeah, false narratives. And yeah, I have failed up and downs with the therapy,
Right.
but
But I feel like that's what it's supposed
yeah,
to be. Like, a
yeah,
lot of people don't understand that it's not like just a straight way up. Like, oh, as soon as you start, you're gonna start getting better. No, I feel
yeah.
like it. Once you start working on yourself, which is a thing that I see. I'm actually seeing a lot of people do it now, which is I'm very
It's beautiful.
happy.
Yeah,
But one thing about a lot of people, they and it's cool. They romanticize this, like, let's lock in, and like, let's do
Winter arc.
yeah,
Winter
let's
arc.
winter arc or whatever,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of people romanticize this idea of you know you're gonna work on yourself, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that. And the reality is sometimes that when you do work on yourself, you discover the demons that are, like, after you, and you discover that
Jeez,
all
yeah.
the bad that is within you, and you just
Yeah.
didn't know because you're not
Yeah.
ready to dive
No, I
deep
know.
into, like, your thoughts. And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people, like myself. I cannot sit in my car alone without music. I cannot go to the gym without music.
God.
When I go to sleep, my mind turns on.
Okay.
And I feel like that's something that unfortunately we all go through, where you're not able to be
Yeah.
at complete peace.
Yeah.
And that's why you need these distractions. Like, when I'm driving, I'm always blasting music.
Yeah.
When I'm in the gym, always blasting. I mean, the gym is a little bit more understandable, but you know if you ever realized, I heard this, I forgot where did I hear this, but it's like, try doing things that you normally do with music without music,
Yeah.
and realize how tough it is. Not because it's boring, or not because it's this. It's because your thoughts start taking over.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
intranquility that you have within you, that
Yeah.
non-peacefulness that you have within you, it
Yeah.
activates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it happens to me all the time, where you're
Yeah,
laying down
yeah.
in bed, it's 10, 11 at night,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can't fall asleep because okay,
Yeah.
you shut off your phone or whatever, you turn off everything, and then your mind starts running wild.
Yeah.
And then basically what you've been saying, like, you start running scenarios of the whole day, like, ooh, why didn't this person say what's up to me?
Yes.
They probably, and then you start making, like,
you
make
start
your
making
own
up
problems.
stuff, make up the problems, and start whatever, like, and it sounds all like, yeah, that's the right narrative, yeah. But then no, it's just like it's
And
not.
then you only piss yourself off,
Yeah, you
honestly.
piss yourself off. So yeah, so that's what it was, and yeah, I'm getting better. I am being consistent with it. So,
That's good. And that's
yeah,
that's another thing
yeah.
that we can tie back into what we said earlier in the pod, where, like, we are not, as a Hispanic community, we are not taught this.
No.
The physical health,
Yeah.
the
Wow.
mental health.
Truth. That's true.
You know, we are not,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't think necessarily it's our parents' fault, because they definitely, for sure, well, most of them, they didn't, it's their first time being parents as well.
Yes.
It's their first time, living life, just period, living life,
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's their fault, but I do think it comes down up to us to change that.
Yeah.
It comes down to, like, where we have to look into it. We have to be the ones seeking God. We have to be the
Yeah.
ones seeking physical fitness, not because
Yeah.
you want to look better for A, B, and C, or just for yourself in general. You want to feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first started working out, I started working out honestly because I just wanted to drop weight. Right, my whole goal was to drop weight. Period. Not to gain muscle, not to do none of this. Not to know how much I can lift or hit a PR. None of that.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you really start digging into it, someone like me, that I wasn't taught none of that. Like, no, I have no one in my family that I know that is like, goes to the gym frequently, or like has some type of
basically.
connection.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have to be the ones that, like, take that step. Like, what if it's not scary? What if I go in there and
Yeah.
what if I start liking it? And that's what ended up happening to me, at least. And I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% sure that it can happen to everyone. That once you put enough time into it and you do it often, I always tell people that ask me, like, yo, how are you so consistent for so many months? And they see the weight drop, and they see the before me, and and I'm still working on myself. This is not like the end goal.
That's not a final
version.
Yeah,
but a lot of people tell me, like, how did you keep consistency? And
yeah,
one, it's the hard, cold truth. It's hard.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, but it's either you go through this phase of your life being hard, or you live the same way you've always been living and just live hard your whole life.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once you, like I said, I started wanting to drop weight, but once I realized, ooh, I'm getting a little bigger here, a little, I feel a little stronger. Your confidence just shoots up. As well. Like, you feel like, and like I said, let's tie it back to what we were saying earlier. Nobody teaches us none of this. What we're taught is just work and work and work and work. But I feel like we are, like, in a position where we can Not saying because of the content or that, just because
Yeah.
of the mindset we have. We're I'm sorry, we're in a position where we can explain to people, especially someone like you.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I love that you were.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
You're able to tell even me, like, myself, like, how do you
Yeah.
get started, not knowing, how to begin running, not knowing,
Yeah.
that even joining a run club was a thing. I thought
Yeah.
I hate running because it's kind of boring to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what if I run with a club
It's
and
different.
like what you said, that energy? What if I feel that energy
That
and it
energy was there.
changes me?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it
Like
does.
the same thing with the gym. Like at first, I'm not gonna lie, first 3 months for me, horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible. But after that, like, and then it varies from time. Some people love the gym the first month, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people don't end up liking it till the first year. But it's just consistency. But same thing with running. Like I personally do not. I like walking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
walk, a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe like feeling that energy from someone else, be passionate about it, will get you into it.
Right.
So yeah, again, I love that we're able to share this to like basically like our community, because it's
Yes.
tough to get into anything that has
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
with bettering
Yeah.
yourself. Unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
hard truth, but it is true. Like a lot of people don't look for um a way to better themselves
Yeah.
other than like buying nice clothes or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, basically that, like you improving yourself in any other way other than physical.
Yeah.
And touching base on that, talk a little bit about your, which is I think one of the craziest transformation, your 2017 transformation, like the whole
Yeah.
body transformation
That was
was
insane.
crazy. I'm gonna pop up a picture right here, so
Yeah.
people can see, like,
It
how
was.
what dedication is, what
Yes.
sacrifice is, and what love for yourself is, basically. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about your transformation.
Yeah. During that time, 2017, 2019 transformation, I was really like, heading to the gym, like consistently heading to the gym, doing my workouts. I think I was working out 5 times a week. I was heavily on my meal plans, and this wasn't no. I wasn't looking towards any like competitions, anything like that.
Right.
It was mainly like I want to look like that person. So it was Christian Guzman, like that's the guy I keep saying, Christian Guzman. I wanted to look like him, and then I achieved it. And then when I achieved it, it just came out of nowhere. I'm telling you, like one time, I just went to blink, took off my shirt in
You're
the
like, damn.
bathroom. I was like, "What is this?" Like, and I was like,
Isn't that like the
"Shoot."
best joy too? Like when you look
Yeah.
at yourself and you can't buy this, you
Yeah,
cannot
because
buy it.
I tell people like I can't even. Sometimes I forget how during time I forgot how I looked because I was just being repetitive, like a robot, like going like 2 years consistently, robot, and then all of I know, I was like, poof, I was like,
Man, you
what?
got me excited for my next year.
Yeah.
Then you got me excited.
I was like, what the hell did I just do? And then everybody started noticing, and then like, oh, you're taking and stuff like that. Like, I was like, oh, just like, oh, I could say this: protein powder and creatine are one of the best supplements ever.
S tier.
Yeah,
S
and
tier in supplements.
yeah, any brand that has those ingredients, whey protein or creatine, it's a must. Anything else, I don't think you should.
And then let's talk a little bit about protein, because I don't even when I started the gym, I bought it because just I knew gym people take it, right?
Yeah.
But for people that don't know, this is a great pod that we can explain to people that don't, like, I'm telling you, it's their first day. Imagine this
Yeah,
because I've been reached out to from a lot of people that was like,
Yeah.
even though I don't look like a crazy bodybuilder, but I've just been
The change.
so dedicated that like
change.
people see the little change, and they
Yeah.
know that if I continue the like
Yeah.
like you say in 2
Yeah.
years, I'm excited to see what's 2 years to come.
Yeah.
But for someone that's like not in that mindset yet and want to know a little bit about what's the truth to protein, how do you take it? What's a lot of people say like, oh, you don't eat, instead you take protein. What's the right way of doing protein?
The right way to is to incorporate it more in the beginning, because we're trying to make it as simple as possible without numbers. Most people would recommend a pound per body weight. So if I weigh 155, I should have about 155 grams of protein a day,
Right.
which gets complicated because then
A normal meal, yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
If you're eating like, and sometimes people don't even
Yeah.
eat chicken on a regular basis, so
yeah, so it's very hard to get your total protein from just chicken and beef.
and especially I feel like
Yeah.
if you're lifting, like it's a must.
Yes,
Like,
a must. You have to. That's the building blocks of building muscle. Like you have to. So I would say pro is in categories. Proteins your priority, second carbs, and then fat will be the last one. But you would just, I would say, protein powder is not magical.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
not.
you gotta do the work. So that means that
Yeah,
every time you're in the gym, you have to. I'm not saying like David Goggins, like give it your all, but every workout counts. They all
yeah,
tally up. So if by the end of the week, end of the year, you'll see results based on that work you did in the gym. Did you push yourself? And
right.
then that protein will help you build that, because in order for it to build muscle, you gotta break it, and the
Yeah,
protein repairs it, and it'll
yeah.
grow bigger, so it could now do more weight.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically, that's a
yeah,
perfect way of putting
yeah.
it. So basically, when you get into the gym and you actually start lifting weight and you start lifting whatever, the soreness you're feeling
Yes,
is the muscle tissue tearing.
it's
It's
tear.
literally
It
tearing.
teared already.
You're supposed to break down.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize it, but a lot of people think that when you go to the gym, like lifting the weights, that's when you're building muscle. But
No,
now that's when you're breaking down the
you're
muscle.
breaking it down.
You build muscle when you're at rest and consuming your correct protein,
Yes.
because then you're rebuilding. Your
Yeah,
body
yeah,
is
yeah.
basically going, it's under construction during that time period where you're not working out, you're not
Yeah.
doing intense cardio or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And with the help of protein, you're
Yeah.
fixing or filling in those cracks of like the muscle tissue you've broken down with the
Yeah.
protein you're taking. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it's very important to consume the right amount of protein that you need it individually, so you
Yes.
can build that
Build.
muscle.
Yeah,
And
build
what
them up.
about creatine? What's the right way of taking creatine? What is creatine? A lot of people have a misconception with creatine. Can you touch base on that?
Yes, creatine is what they call is energy, is an energy source, because what we do is when we work out, we lose this ATP, which basically it's like glycogen. Glycogen is when we eat carbs, we store them as glucose.
Yes.
So once we start working out, we're depleting our glycogen storage. So we lose majority of which is our natural energy.
Yes.
So creatine, it gives you, it's very similar, where if you have a daily consumption of at least 5 grams, it's just one scoop, but it has to be
Consistent.
consistent. You can't miss a
Yes.
day.
I
Like,
be missing some days. I'm not
like honestly, like I don't take it right now, but during the time that I took it, which was that transformation, I took it religiously, like every day. I didn't miss any of my creatine because it worked.
and even on off days as well.
Yeah, it works. It
Yeah.
works. It works. And then yeah, I would say those are the staple. And talking about supplements, like just get yourself a protein powder, any brand, isolate, hopefully, and a creatine monohydrate as clean as possible, and you're pretty much heading towards the right direction.
Yeah, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that
Creatine,
hard.
they sell it in Amazon,
Yeah.
$20 gets you a little tub. Protein, same
Yeah.
thing. Protein's a little bit more expensive if you want to get like the.
Yeah.
There's not really. Well, there's better ones, more cleaner ones, or
Yeah,
whatever.
clear
But
ones.
go to. I mean, that what I do. I go to BJ's. They have a really nice,
They have good,
a really nice
they have
selection.
good ones there. So.
All I do is I buy a vanilla whey.
Yeah.
All I do is I think it's I'm
Yeah.
trying to give you my recipe. I think it's a cup of almond milk.
Yeah.
A scoop of 1.5 tablespoons of peanut butter,
Yeah.
a full frozen banana,
Yeah.
a little bit of cinnamon,
Yeah.
cinnamon powder,
Yeah.
a little bit of oats,
Yeah.
and the protein powder.
Mhm.
Blend it. What's it called? The freaking Ninja blender.
Oh yeah, Ninja Blender.
Boom,
The
and that
best
you
one.
save yourself $15 from the protein shake
Oh,
spot.
yeah, it's a lot of protein shakes, about $20.
Yeah, yeah, and bro, it tastes good.
tastes good,
Honestly,
yeah.
that's another thing about protein that I just remembered. This is what happens with weight loss, which is something I've learned. The reason why we overeat, and the reason why that's for me, and I feel like it's the majority of people, it's the overeating. It's not necessarily what you eat; it's just
Yeah.
you're overeating, and
Yeah.
maybe actually what you're eating is that you're eating what is known as empty calories.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
eating really meals high on fat, low
Yeah.
on protein.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're naturally gonna be hungry in an hour or 2 hours
Mm-mm.
because you didn't fill up that
Yeah, yeah.
protein requirement from your body. So your body is now asking for more food.
Yeah.
That's the one good thing about protein. Even with a protein shake, you feel very full. One
Yeah.
good shake, you feel very. You can hold it
Yeah, at
down.
least a couple hours, 2 more hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then and a
Yeah.
protein shake, you can actually measure to the T
Yeah.
how much calories you're intaking because the
Yeah.
protein
Yeah.
itself is like 150. Depends on the protein,
Yeah.
but per scoop.
150 about. 150
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
per scoop, and then you add the thing, the milk and the banana and all that, and it doesn't go. It usually never goes over 500 calories. We usually like
Yeah.
maybe 4. Maybe you can even
Yeah.
if you replace the peanut butter with like a supplement of peanut butter, you can even drop it even more.
Yes.
But it keeps you very it keeps you full for a longer amount of time.
Yeah.
It tastes really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you hit your protein goal. So I feel like protein is definitely you're right with keeping it up here with the
Yeah, that's the priority because that's what builds the muscle. So if you focus on that, then you're on a good route. Pretty much, you're pretty
Yeah.
much in a good route.
Awesome. And then, all right, so now let's go back to running. What do you have in the plans for now your running career? What do you want to do with running? How do you want to evolve with Seek? What's in the goals for 2025?
2025 so far looking good. I'm doing the program NYRR, which is a 9+1.
Okay.
It takes 9 races of NYRR races
Okay.
plus volunteer one time to qualify for the 2026 marathon.
Okay.
But I'm doing the 2025 because I'm going through a charity called Team for Kids. So I have to raise funds for that organization, which gives back to the running community for the youth. So it's a great community. It's a great basically charity because it's thinking about health and wellness of the next generation. So I want to be part of that. So that's how I'm running 2025 New York City Marathon.
Okay.
That's the big goal, which is November. And then heading towards that, my next race is March 16. It's looking like I'm gonna be at the United half marathon. It's a big marathon. It's happening March 16. You cross the Brooklyn Bridge, start at Prospect Park, cross the Brooklyn Bridge, then go to the FDR. After the FDR, you head towards Times Square. After Times Square, you head towards Central Park.
Dang.
13 miles of like amazing views. Amazing views. Yeah, amazing views. So I'm gonna do a lot of half marathons and races, and somewhere in between there, I'm gonna involve. Let's see, depending, I'm gonna hire a coach. I might compete again from in a natural show, just as I did in 2023. Again, just to, in a way, all this I do is because, and this is where I found through therapy, I understand why I'm like this, like why I want to do certain things. It's because growing up, I never saw somebody that looks like me, and as a motivation to I was like, oh shoot, he looks like me. I want to do what he does. So I didn't see that too much.
Right.
So I hope anybody that sees me gets inspired and does it better than me.
Yes.
Because they have the opportunity even more if they see someone that's like, oh shoot, he's from Ecuador, he's running, he's lifting, he's competing. Because I don't see it too much I've been in these NYR runs like this past year, and then also competing a little bit, like both space. I don't see a lot of Latinos in these competitions.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the gym actually. How it's well, now the gym is a little bit more broader.
Broader. Yeah.
You see a lot more Hispanics and Latinos, but like running or like
competitive.
Competitive stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're not. The demographic is very very small.
Yes, it is. It is, and I've seen it.
The Latino community, and I feel like what you said is perfect. That maybe people seeing other people do it, looking like us, they will get inspired to like, you know what, if he can do it, it doesn't have to be like a rich, a rich white person that
exactly.
No, anybody can, anybody
can do it.
Anybody can run, anybody can. You're not even necessarily run, but anybody can focus on starting to get their physical health better.
Yes.
Because in reality we don't get taught these things growing. A lot of us don't. But we can be that, that motivation to be like, man, when I saw your transformation picture, I was like, there's no way that's great. And when you mentioned like you were in competition, I'm like, that's the first thing that actually popped in my head. Like, that's crazy that like, you're actually doing it without, because it's a very small margin of people that are actually competing, that are like Hispanic or like
Yes, very hard. Yeah,
Latino, or just maybe fitness in general.
fitness in general. Yeah, yeah,
But it's
yeah.
getting bigger. Would you say it's getting?
Yes, it is compared to when I first started the gym. Now I see more people in the gym, like our people in the gym. Like,
Yes, and it's
like you see
amazing, right?
a lot of younger people now starting even younger, because before it was a stigma like, oh, don't start too early. You might stunt your
So,
growth, or you might
yeah.
all this science, these what's
Yeah,
called
that is
growth
true though. In
science
our
and stuff.
gym, like especially like the
Yeah,
winter arc,
with the arcs.
right after
Yeah,
the
break up
holidays,
or break up.
everybody in the gym.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's
So
good though. That's good though.
yeah,
That's
so
good.
now you see it more, which is a great thing. But my part, what I want to inspire is compete, like
Compete.
get
Okay.
competitive. It's beautiful to see other faces. As like, oh shoot, he's competing. I know one of my friends. He's from Mexico. His name Jose. Shout
Okay.
out to Jose. He's fast. He's super fast. I'm talking about, he does like numbers that you. And there was this great photo that I saw from the NYR, and he was like the only Latino like
Like pushing through.
pushing with those, with everyone else. Like, damn, and I love that,
That's
because
amazing to
that was
see.
amazing,
That
because he was showing like, man, I'm up there, and he was like, oh, I could be up there too. So
that's amazing. That's
yeah, yeah,
inspirational.
inspirational, because
For
he's
yeah.
working, he's doing it, and he's proving it that we could do it. We could do it too. We could be part of it.
Yeah,
Be
of
part of the
course. It's
community.
not just because you see a certain Instagram person do it or
Yeah,
whatever.
and he's not even really. You wouldn't say he's not even a. This is crazy too. He's not even like how you say, like, he's not posting stuff on a regular basis. Like,
He just do it for himself.
himself, yeah, himself. But since I know him, I was like, yo, I was like, wow, he's crazy fast. Like, compared to me, like, I do post a lot, and it might look like I'm fast, right? Just because I'm posting a lot, right? I
Right.
am fast, but not to that comparison.
Right.
With somebody that is low key, boy, he's fast.
But and by fast, let's for those
Yeah.
people that don't know what maybe talking about, we're talking about like pace, right? Like keeping
Yes.
a steady pace. Doing what's like the parameters you do in distance, and what's like fast, what's like medium.
Yeah, it's like minutes per miles. Most beginners were at the 12 to 10 minute per mile.
Okay.
You start off there.
And for myself, for someone that doesn't know about running, hopefully I get to
Yeah.
join your guys' running
Yeah.
events. What's you think more important? The resistance or the speed? Or you think it's a balance of both?
The hardcore people would say speed, like the hardcore section of the running space was the speed. But in general, it's endurance. I would say in general, for most people, a lot of people could endure, and they don't know it. Like, after a while,
Like
I've
I
seen.
can sprint super fast.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you
yeah,
see
yeah,
me,
yeah,
like
yeah. It's different. It's very different
like 6'9", I'm fast as fuck, boy.
to hold that on
But
for
yeah, that's
miles
where it
is
kills you.
different. It's different. So there's where I've seen, like, during my time in Paso, I saw so many like testimonies of people that started with 0 miles in their legs, and by the time you knew it, by the summer was over, you see them doing 6 miles, 8 miles, and we're not saying they're the fastest, but we're
But the
saying
resistance.
they were resisting
Like they're-
way better than they started.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's still a win. It's still a
Yeah, of
win.
course. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Anybody, like, I mean, I get winded, running.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
common. It's
treadmill,
common.
yeah.
It's common. It's common.
But it's
Yeah.
it's practice. It is
It's
what
practice.
it is.
Yeah, you got to do it. You
I
gotta do it.
tried running last year when I started, like the last year summer,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's when I realized, like, man, I thought I was healthy. Hell no, that's when you realize, and you're like,
It humbles you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
run-
thought I was healthy too, and I started running. Man, that 1.5 mile that I did loops, I was having almost a heart attack or something. And I
Yeah.
thought it was fit.
Yeah,
so different.
That's
So
when, like,
different.
you'll really get humbled when
Yeah.
you're like, you can't run.
You can't.
You'll run. You know what's crazy? That's one thing that we're
Yeah.
talking about. That we live in New York, right? In New
Yeah.
York, you're lucky if your place has an elevator.
True.
And
true.
so this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but it relates to like the endurance and like
Yeah.
getting humbled
Yeah.
or whatever. I had a meeting for one of my businesses. I had a meeting, and I remember we went up to like a fourth or fifth floor, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mind you, this is like I'm going to a meeting with like, people with like, skinny people with like suit and ties or whatever,
Yeah.
walking up. By the time, mind you, this is like starting my fitness journey a year ago.
Yeah.
By the time I'm up there, like I'm pretending to not look like this, but I'm dying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
You
like
can't hold it. You can't.
hyperventilating and like, can I get some water? Like I'm gonna use it, like trying to, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Like I do, and I just did a similar, not with the same people, but I just realized I went, and the reason why I noticed that my cardiovascular health changed
Yeah.
was because I did a similar thing. Like I went up to a meeting, and then it was with I was walking up with a little bit of a heavier set guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we walked upstairs. It was like a fourth floor, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm talking throughout the whole like staircase, right? I'm walking up, and the guy's like, hold on, let me catch my breath, right? And then I didn't even realize we climbed up 4 flights of stairs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
that
yeah,
made me
yeah.
realize, like, wow, like you can really improve your
You
cardiovascular
done,
health if
you
you
gotten
just keep
better.
doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember, and that's when it like, when I get humbled, I'm like, damn, a year ago I was like
Yeah.
breathing
yeah.
heavy with like 4 flights of stairs,
Yeah.
and now like that motivated me to hop on the Stairmaster even more because
Oh, Stairmaster is nice.
you start seeing the more than anything, you feel the satisfaction in your body that your body's like controlled.
Yes.
Your body's once you're do a certain physical activity, your body's controlled, and it's not like you're almost like about to pass out,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people don't like, it's simple things like that. Just because you're chasing health, it doesn't mean you have to be a crazy I mean, if you want to, by all
you don't
means,
have
like,
to go.
but you don't have to do it in an extent as you see on Instagram.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And let's be honest, a lot of the people that are posting on Instagram that do like these crazy body transformations in like super quick, like 3 months or whatever. A lot of it, I've seen it firsthand. A lot of it is cap. A lot of it is like, they are like, I mean, a lot of it is true. Like there's real stuff. No matter what you're doing, if you're trying to lose weight, other than if you're like, on some like weight enhancement stuff, other than that, like, I guess I don't know if that counts or not, but whatever. But if you're putting your body through it, like it's gonna take time.
Yes.
It's gonna take time. So don't be discouraged by someone that's like post a video because they'll or a picture of like that's what I started being better at is where like I'm happy if I take like a gym selfie. I'm happy. Like I'm not posting it to flex how much weight I lost. I'm not because there's somebody that lost way more weight in a way quicker time. I'm not flexing it to show how much muscle I have. It's literally a reward for myself. It's kind of like the meme. It's like a reward. It's like like your body is your own trophy. It's a trophy you carry everywhere.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that you cannot buy.
Yeah.
It's you've put in time, sweat, and real tears to like. And again, it's kind of like the Casey Neistat thing where like he's not looking for. You said it. He's been chasing that goal of being under 3
sub 3 hours
for years.
And
it's a goal he has for himself.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anybody else. The fact that he posted it on YouTube is just because that's his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like he's a content creator, so he's gonna post it. But no, it's up to. No one tells you. It's up to this time. You have to lose this amount of weight, or you have to be this amount. No, as long as you're working towards any type of goal for yourself, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
In reality, I've seen a lot of people where like, they feel like they need to be like that person or need to be like, and I feel like it's the main thing is just like, it's good to grab inspiration.
Yes.
But it's the best to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because like, when I started, I'm like the first month, I'm like, you question yourself. What am I even doing this for?
Yeah.
What's this for? Who is this for? Who is this for?
Yeah.
Who's this all for? And there's a real answer for yourself.
For yourself at the
But a lot of people don't take that. Or maybe it's like, it's true. I feel like it's they don't have enough self-love, which is a very, very real thing.
Yeah.
Where like you don't, have the sufficient love. But once you start realizing your body is changing and it's changing because you're putting effort into it, you're the one that's sacrificing. You're the one that's not eating that donut at the end of the night or that bucket of ice cream at the end of the night. That's when you're like, even if you drop the tiniest bit, like
Salah.
I hope people can watch this and like hopefully, maybe just open up TikTok and like, how do I do a gym split, or how do I start getting to running? Because that's all it takes. It just takes the spark, and to realize that it's literally it's hard, but not impossible.
Yes.
It's hard, and nowadays that it's more not easier because you still have to put the work in,
Yeah.
but it's easier to learn how to do things. You know,
Yeah.
it's easier to like you hop on TikTok, they'll show you
Sure.
a
Just
full
search it. Just type anything you want.
yeah, like what
Yeah.
shoes to wear to run, what this
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like that or anything.
Breathing, anything. I have everything.
Yeah, so it's like right now I feel like it's the best time to take care of yourself because the overweight population in the United States is crazy. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what it is, but I know it's crazy. I know it's like what is it, like 2 out of 3 people are like
Yeah.
overweight, which is like insane. But if you realize it, I feel like I'm just rambling, but it's true. Like the odds are like kind of placed against us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's McDonald's in every corner. There's
Yeah, there
this in
is.
every corner, and
Yeah.
it's so easy to just
Yeah,
grab
yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
That's why it's called grab and go. You know, because it's just so easy
Yeah.
for you to like. And this I feel like has to do with maybe you can add on to this. It has to do with your mind because
Yeah.
like if you don't change that mind, because I feel like we do things unconsciously, where like we don't even we don't even realize what we're putting in our bodies, but it's so natural, it's so normal that we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and then when
yeah.
you start looking in the bigger scope, like, okay, I'm gonna take care of my body now. Like, damn, that's what I eat the whole day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think about like changing your mind to, or how can you tell someone to like start that change in their mind so they can better their health?
I'll voice this. Yeah, there's a lot of influencers out there sharing their stories that this possibility of changing so drastically in such a short time or in a year looking so massive or lean. And majority of the times they're taking enhancements. So, and that's where I come in the picture because I'm natural. So I'm natural meaning like
Hey,
I don't, yeah, yeah, yeah.
full natty in the comments.
Natty,
Full natty in the
natty
comments.
I
Yeah,
could
shout out to
say.
everyone that's
Yeah,
crazy though.
it's hard.
Shout out to everyone that's natty because bro, it can be so discouraging when you're
Yeah.
a year in, a year and a half in, and you see the change, but you're like,
Yes.
why do these guys look like this? And then
Yes.
it's very clear what you just said. They're
They're
enhanced. For those people that don't know what we're talking about, the D word and not that other D word, but the D
Yeah.
word. You know, they're taking
Yeah.
some type of
Yeah.
liquid potion to like
Yeah, the juice, what they
the
call it.
juice, the gear, all
Yeah,
of that. But yeah,
so-
sorry, continue.
Yeah, there you can find inspo through them because, of course, they're still inspiring people. There are people, humans, and they made decisions to take this, you get me this something that you can't just get over the counter. And for me, as a natural, yeah, it could get discouraging. I'm already 6 years into training, and I look like this, but I'm pretty much an example of if you put the work in, you're gonna look decent enough. Like I'm pretty sure I could still get a little bit more bigger. And I'm not saying the biggest, but I do like how I look. And it is possible to look lean, look good, and do it the natural way, meaning don't take these enhancements to shortcut your way. And also it's very against your health because once you start
Yeah.
taking this, you got to take other supplements that counteract what's going on when you
Yeah, because there's a lot
yeah,
of what do you call it? There's a lot of side effects.
yeah,
One of them is like risking your life.
risking
You
your
know,
life.
because
It
a lot
reduces
of
your age.
yeah, because a lot of people don't know that it's like, because it's so. I feel like it's even glamorized, and I mean, by all means, whoever takes it, like I respect, what
Yeah, yeah,
what they
yeah.
do or whatever. But like you said, like I've always thought, like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it because I earned it. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna put the hard work, and whatever the outcome is, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Because at least I want to say that I did it without any and
Yeah.
putting anything in my body other than like natural supplements. But yeah, like so don't be discouraged because
Don't be
a
discouraged,
lot of these bodybuilders, and I would say, what do you say, like 90-80% of them?
A lot that are up there are even the ones that I was influenced by that were natty are now not natty.
Yeah.
But at least they're honest. I feel if you're honest about it from the get-go and tell your clients that, hey, my body was based on taking this, not the natural way, then I have respect. But I feel if you kind of don't say it, but to each their own. I think they do it for the right reasons, sponsorships,
Right,
and
yeah. And then we
also
see a lot of these,
influence.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of these brands that are
yeah,
like
yeah,
pushing out people that are like clearly on stuff, you
yeah.
know?
Clear on
And like,
stuff.
I'll
Yeah,
take a brand that I'm fucking in love with, Young
yeah,
LA, you know,
yeah,
and a
yeah,
lot of the,
yeah,
like, a lot of
yeah,
a lot of their PR team and a lot of people they work with are like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
like crazy enhancement, but that, you know, that's what they want their, like, people wearing their stuff to like not look like
Yeah.
maybe, but that's what they want to push out,
It's
you know?
aesthetics. It's
Yeah,
pleasing to the
aesthetically.
eye. It's just that if you want to go to that route, of course, it's your choice. It's your choice. Just as they had their choice. But I try to give the hopes that, hey, it might take a couple of years, but
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna
Maybe
happen.
not at a
It's
crazy, like, you know.
great.
Some
Yeah.
people, yeah. What happens is with the enhancements is like you can get it done regardless with
Yeah.
enhancements or without. You can get the same physical
Yeah. Yeah.
appearance. Whatever
Yeah.
you're looking for, you can get it.
Yeah.
Well, whatever your body allows you to, because there's also
Yeah.
a max amount of muscle you can grow.
Your genetics.
Yeah, your
Yes.
genetics depends on, you know.
Yeah.
Some people are like naturally huge, so they can
Yeah.
grow huge
Easily. Yeah. Easily.
muscle, but
Yeah.
depending on your genetics, you know, you can achieve it just with the enhancement. It happens
Yeah.
a little bit faster, it happens a little bit
More
bigger, but
noticeable. Yeah.
more noticeable, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like, are you willing to risk everything that comes along with it? Like what you said, all the
Yeah.
counters, all the, you
Yeah.
know, the positive is like, yeah, you'll look
The
good and
good.
you'll fast track your
Yes, you will.
your
Yeah, yeah.
growth, but there's a lot of counters like your health. Like you're like, it's kind
Yeah.
of counterintuitive because like you're
Yeah.
working on your health, but then you're injecting something that, you know.
Yeah.
But to each their own, and we respect everyone. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
it's great that you're able to hold that badge. Like, you know, I am not,
Yeah.
and I'm able to build a
Yeah.
really good physique, being, you know, straight on protein, water,
Protein
and pre
and
workout.
pre-workout and gym. That's all.
What's your to close off the pod? You have any other remarks you want to touch base on?
Oh yes, with the Sea Coffee. Lastly, appreciate
Yes,
them.
of course. One huge shout out. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
One huge shout out to Sea Coffee for and yourself too, because they're making
Yeah, thank you.
making
Yeah, happen.
the
Making it
making it
happen.
happen, because, you know, we were able to switch up the
Yeah.
space. You know,
Yeah.
for once we'll be doing more of these offsite shoots pretty often. I have a couple people that are interested in doing shoots. I'm just, as you saw, like, people did not see, but it took like
Yeah. It took a
a little
while
bit of
to.
time to like set this up, even though it may not look like much, but
Yeah,
it took a little, not the background, but like the whole cameras and
cameras,
the whole behind the scenes of,
audio, visual,
yeah.
everything.
But yeah, we'll be doing more of these off site. But yes, huge shout out to Seek Coffee, guys. If you guys are coffee addicts like
In the
myself,
story, yeah.
caffeine addicts like myself, Astoria, we'll leave the information down below. Their Instagram, where it's
Yes.
located. Please come check them out. Tell them that you came because of the Cheetah Talk podcast and Oliver.
Hey.
But yeah, huge shout out to them. Anything else
Yes.
you want to?
Yeah, so with Sea Coffee, they're a coffee shop. They have 2 locations. I'm working with them, and they have worked with many other content creators. Where they are, aside from a coffee shop, is a hub. They want their place to be a place where creators could come. Or we just doing podcasts,
Yes, and they have a great space for
parties,
it too. It looks
events.
amazing.
And I'm working with them once a month to host the run event here, because now that I venture out in a different scope, I'm not here to create another run club.
Right.
I still want to be part of the fitness, inspiring people, but I want to do it like once a month, like have an event where we go all out. We still involve running, or maybe not, but it has to involve with fitness. So See Coffee and the brand I'm creating called No Club brand. That's not a run club. It's basically a place where you create, connect, and rebrand, brand yourself.
Okay.
Because we all have brands.
Yes, of course.
Like you're a brand. You're people know you as Edwin, and also know you as Cheeto Talk.
Yeah.
But if they were to take away your brand, you could still create it again because you have the vision. You
Right, yeah.
are the brand.
Of course, yeah.
So I believe everyone has a brand. So No Club is basically about that. And with Sea Coffee, we're trying to create a place for people to come, be involved in health and wellness.
Yes.
And
which is what we need more.
Yeah, and then I got a shout out also. Lastly, the running space, the running community has been a beautiful 1 year with them. There's a lot of run clubs out there, like Paso Run Club. They do it Thursdays. You got Goats, which Goats Run Club does Tuesdays in Astoria. So if you're looking for a place to run, right there. Also Wepa, I have Wepa. There's a lot of run clubs out there.
Yeah, shout out to all the run clubs
Run
that are
clubs
like,
out
you know,
there, and everybody's doing amazing with their works in inspiring people.
yes.
And yeah, I'm so grateful to share my story. And I hope that I inspire anyone out there to either lift, run, mental, spiritually.
Yes. It all ties together.
Yeah, get
It all ties
intact
it
to
all.
who they are. So yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it, bro. Thank you so
No,
much.
thank you. Thank
I
you
want-
for the time. Yeah.
Yes.
And one more time, let's plug in the No Club brand. Do you have clothing coming out or
Yes, I'm seeing I might, if everything goes well, I would want to incorporate it to March 1st as the launch of maybe 50 pieces, which would be like 15 smalls, 15 larges, and 30
we'll be
30
on the lookout for that.
yeah, some
'Cause
like a couple of
I
pieces on
love
it.
the message behind it, where you are the brand. You know, it doesn't
Yes.
matter who you are. You are a brand.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to let that out to the world and
Exactly.
express that to be talking about brands. Here, let me go off camera a little
Yes.
bit. I'm gonna go off camera a little bit.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'm telling you,
Behind the
it's all
scenes.
about branding.
Okay, so get back. Okay, so I am not a Cheetah Talk is a brand, right?
Yes.
I'm not a clothing brand, but
Yeah.
we have just released. These are not for sale as of now, but we have just released our first piece of merch. Would you say? I mean, we're not selling
Yes,
it, but
it was in category of merch.
Yeah.
Like it is.
but
It
the
will.
cool thing about this is
Yeah.
that we're gonna be actually giving it out for free. So we're not gonna be selling it. So
Oh,
we're gonna be
oh,
giving it out for
sure.
free. So for anybody watching, and this is specifically for you, my bro. You got
Oh,
one of
appreciate it. Thank
the
you, bro.
the first
Exclusive,
designs.
exclusive.
First designs. Look at that.
On
Let's see.
cover. Is
Yes,
what I'm
sir,
talking
that's
about.
for
That's
you.
it.
It's one of our first. Oh, and I'm wearing the white version
White
of it.
one, yeah.
We have two designs. We have that one, obviously inspired by the game that doesn't freaking come out yet. and
Yeah,
I'm waiting
everything's
on it.
everything's coming out before GTA.
Everything is coming out.
We're getting
the world
everything.
is ending before GTA. Oh my god. But
Yeah,
yes,
so true. Appreciate it. Thanks,
I
bro.
want you to the
Thank you, bro.
first
Yeah.
the first shirt we're actually giving out. If you'd like to win one of their shirts, very simple. Grab a piece of it if you're watching it with your phone, screen record. If you're watching it on TV, take a quick story on Instagram. Tag me, tag Oliver. What's your at?
My ad is Oliver Quispy, and the next ad is No Club brand.
No Club. Yes. So tag us on Instagram that you're watching the pod. You know, just a quick story, and
Yeah.
I'll be scrolling through all of them through this week, and let's say by Thursday, I'll choose someone that's I've seen that so you have a Thursday once this launch this will launch on a Monday, so you have 4 days to post a story.
Yeah.
Once you do post a story, remember to tag me, tag Oliver. We'll be looking through the stories. We'll
Yeah.
choose one or two people.
We'll choose a lucky winner.
Yeah, and you get to decide. We have the other. I thought I brought the other design, but I brought the
The one you wear?
no. We have the same design if I'm not wrong.
I think GTA one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but
yours.
that one, we have another design which is like basically just the podcast. The font of the podcast changes.
Oh, the font.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you're gonna be able to choose. You have we have the mock-ups on Instagram as well. We have the virtual shirt on Instagram, so you can see which one you want. So yeah, basically tag us on that you're watching the pod. If you reach till this point in the pod, tag us in a story. We'll be choosing, and after the pod launches in 4 days, we'll be choosing a couple of you guys to send out shirts. And then I'll be DMing you guys like information for where you guys are located, so we can send out the shirts. But yeah, first piece of merch. I want to shout out our first official sponsor, Black Diamond Studios. They're amazing. They're again sponsored us one more time with everything pretty much,
Yeah,
with the design,
nice.
shirt, everything from point A to the final print. So if you guys are interested in anything that has to do with business cards, design, motion graphics, or anything like that, I'm going to leave their link down in the description below. Please visit Black Diamond. They print everything, basically, shirts, cards, and do digital marketing. So whatever you need, make sure to hit them out. Once again, thank you for the sponsorship, sponsoring our first merch drop and this podcast in general. So yeah, guys, one more time, Oliver, thank you for your time. Thank you for the inspiration. I mean,
Yes.
very inspired. Hopefully, you're gonna catch me running with you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
soon.
Hopefully, let's see.
I'm
Let's
ready
see.
to. I'm ready
Summer's
to.
coming, so
Summer, yeah,
but it's
I
gonna get
love being
better.
outside on summer.
Cold
And
as I get most people. Yeah, it's hard.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little hard, but
Yeah.
we'll get into it. I mean, one more time, thank you for being,
Yeah. Thank you,
thank you for
Edwin.
taking your time,
Yes.
inspiring a lot of people that I feel like needed to hear that, just because you look like us, it doesn't mean you can't be in this space,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the fitness
Yes.
space, in the running space,
Content creation.
yeah, content creation or
Yeah,
everything,
clothing brand, YouTube. We need
everything. Yeah, we need
you
more
guys out there.
Yes, we
doing your
need more
thing.
more brands, and thank you
Yes.
for everyone that's been supporting. I hear it a lot that there's not enough podcasts in the East Coast, which I'm happy to hopefully keep evolving this podcast within the next year. So many
Yes.
amazing guests like yourself that
Yeah.
have a really cool story, a really cool reason why they're doing what they're doing,
Yes.
and wanting to motivate, wanting to inspire people to get out there and do their thing, basically.
Yes.
Once again, Oliver, thank
Appreciate
you for
it,
your
Edwin.
time.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you to Seek Coffee
Yes.
for the space and the time. Please like, share, and subscribe. This has been an amazing episode
Yes.
with my friend Oliver. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey.